Buenos dias, fellow gamers. My name is Ed. How you guys doing? Today I do have another banger video for you, and this time it is about my favorite melee weapon, the Zenistar. We all have this one weapon that we just want a perfect god roll ribbon for. In this video, I'll present to you some ribbons. On most of them I spent a couple million Kuba, but in this video I'm gonna share my thoughts on the ribbons I have and what I do think are the best stats for the Zenistar. But first, take a look at this. We're not even armor stripping, and they're just dying by the red crits. You wanna know how to do that? Don't you go anywhere. I got you. Let's get started. Why do I like the Zenistar? Just take a look at the thumbnail. Starting off, I'm gonna show you a fun build, because quite honestly, who doesn't love a max range Zenistar? If you have spring-loaded blade, which works by the way on Zenistar, sadly Opportunities Reach does not work. However, we do have a ribbon with range. By the way, if you're curious, the max range you can go for is +3 range on a ribbon, but you need 2 positive stats and 1 negative stat to achieve that. This is how it looks like. Another cool ribbon I'd like to show you is this one. It's range, attack speed, damage to corpus, and negative finisher damage. This is almost perfect. I just wish instead of the damage to corpus, I had critical damage. In my opinion, those are the best stats possible. And you're gonna see why soon. You could put in melee damage, but critical damage is a lot better since we're gonna be dealing red crits. You're gonna see soon, don't worry. So you have seen the max range build, you have seen the Corpus Destroyer build, which is perfect for Corpus, of course. And in this build, I was testing mods for attack speed. And this one I was testing, well, this one has electricity with 520 rolls, by the way. And yeah, since we have electricity, we don't need the electricity mod. We can just put Vicious Frost here and we already achieve magnetic. So why do we need magnetic? Now we get to the main build and I will explain to you why we need that. If you take a look at this arcane melee Vortex, kill an enemy affected by magnetic status for a 45% chance to pull on enemies with an 18-meter radius. I'm gonna show you how this looks like. Here's a little showcase of how the arcane looks like and works in-game. Besides them being pulled to the middle, they also shoot each other in the process. So that means they're getting pulled down and they're basically killing each other. It's wonderful, isn't it? There's one more thing I would like to say. If you place your Zenistar in the middle, they're not always gonna walk into it. So you kinda like have to walk a little bit more far away in order for the enemies to come to you, if that makes sense. You know, if you're too close to the Zenistar, they're not gonna walk into it because they can just like shoot you from the distance. Now that you have seen what melee Vortex can do, I'm gonna take you to my main build. First of all, we have Galvanized Steel. If you told me back then that I need a crit chance mod, you'd be like, I don't need that. Actually, you don't need that. But the reason why I have this mod equipped is because of the other effect, the other galvanized effect. On melee kill, 30% critical damage for 20. And this stacks up to 4 times. So that's already a massive boost in critical damage. Which is exactly what we need because we're gonna deal red crits. We have Vicious Frost, we have Vortex Strike to achieve that magnetic. Primed Reach, obviously, because range is sweet. Zenistar Visitor, range, melee damage, negative finisher damage. This is pretty good. Ideally, like I said, range, attack speed is always a must-have. And the third one can be, well, critical damage or melee damage. But, I mean, this is the main weapon, or the main ribbon I use. Prime Fury, because, well, attack speed is always very important. If you didn't know, the more attack speed you have, the faster the blade or the disc is gonna rotate. That means you deal more DPS, the more attack speed you have on your Zenistar. Melee Elementalist. I used to run the normal Melee Elementalist. It has a heavy attack wind-up speed and it also deals status damage. So as you can see, as displayed on the screen, you're gonna deal more damage to heat. And well, the Zenistar has heat included, because you're gonna be setting these enemies ablaze. And ever since the new Galvanized Elementalist came out, we not only deal additional status damage, we also have more status chance, and this also stacks up to 4 times. So you can kind of like see what we're doing here. We're building up status like crazy, we're building up critical damage like crazy, we have magnetic to pull them in, we have range to affect a lot of enemies, and personally, I mean, this is kind of like underrated. I don't see a lot of people using Quickening. The reason why I use Quickening is obviously, besides the attack speed, is also the combo count chance. If you hit enemies, you're gonna build up your combo counter to 12 super fast, and well, it's just a quality of life improvement. I just love this mod. I couldn't play without it. In case you're like, Sid, you're just talking and talking, can you just get to the point already? Don't worry, we're getting there. If you want to apply red crits on any melee weapon, you should use the Helminth ability of Kullervo called Wrathful Advance. This ability depends on strength and duration. For the Archon shots, I would highly recommend the third buff, which gives 37% melee critical damage. Yes, you can also use the red one, which gives 37.5% melee critical damage, but, hear me out, if you use this one and you have Prime Flow, which then gives you over 500 energy, this effect doubles. So if you have those 5 Violet Archon shots, ideally Tau Forged, you're gonna have a ridiculous amount of critical damage. Like, dude, that's just mind-blowing. I couldn't even imagine. Another cool thing to mention is that you can literally combine any weapon with the Zenistar. In that case, I was using the Atomus to inflict heat damage, while my Zenistar is proccing magnetic. That's gonna do it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you awesome people in the next one.